Hi, Kelly.
Hey there, how are you?
Oh, great, great.
I'm so glad. All right, let's go ahead and get started. Thank you for being here, everyone. We're really excited to do a number of things today. The first thing I'd like to do is make sure that you all have access to the worksheet. It is here on this link that I'm putting in the chat. Um, So at a high level, there's a couple things we want to do. First, I want to take you through a quick walkthrough of our new graphing tool that allows us to visualize the blockchain. This is starting to become very helpful as we look at what's happening in a network scenario and as different validators propose and how do we come to consensus. So we're excited to, number one, show you how to use that, and then number two, take advantage of that tool as we work through the scenario today. At a very high level, the goal of our scenario today is to launch a network using what I'm starting to think of as the Wimpy Genesis ceremony. We will collect your public keys in the form that's in the worksheet, and then build a bonds file. Tomasz will use that bonds file to include in the Bootstrap node. He'll bring that node up, and once that Bootstrap is up, we will share the address, and then you'll be able to connect. And because you've shared, of course, your public key, you will be recognized as validators. We do want to step through the process of validating rather slowly. So sometimes we kind of do a free-for-all and just everybody's proposing things. Today we'd like to be a little more concerted in that effort. And very specifically, there are only two contracts that we would like you to use. They are in the worksheet. One is called dupe, and so some of you may have used that one before. And the other one is called, let's see, simple test channel.row. Both of these, there's one of the contracts is in a link in the worksheet. The other is as there is an attachment. So if you would like to make sure that you have access to those two contracts, so those are the only two contracts that we're going to deploy initially, because it turns out that there can sometimes be conflicts in contracts, and we know that these two contracts don't conflict, so that we have a clean slate for looking at other issues. And then we would like to try and have a validator have a validator bond, and we'll work through that process kind of secondary after we start building a network. So with that, let me talk a little bit about the graphing tool, and I can do that by sharing my screen. All right, so we are looking at the, this is the RNode user guide. I will paste a link here in the window in the chat. And if you were in the user guide and you select the heading in the table of contents, visualizing the blockchain, Pavel has implemented a program within Node. It's called VDAG, and you can call VDAG, and it will produce a file, a text printout of what the DAG looks like. You can then copy this information that comes in your console, and this one happened to be a very long one, and you can paste it into this GraphViz tool, and you will be able to produce a visualization of the blockchain against time. So you see here on the left, these arrows and numbers, they relate to time. And then, of course, you see validators show up in different colors, and the references the parent and then the hash of the block produced. And we're finding this very helpful. So what we'd very much like you to do today, I'll spin up a ticket here in a few minutes, and we would like at the end of our session today for everyone to be able to collect this information from Node by calling VDAG. You can save it as a text file and then add it as an attachment into the ticket that we create. And that would be a really helpful way for us to see, to take a look at what your node observed the state of things to be. So let me just pause there. Does anybody have questions about using this tool?
Does VDAG dump the state of the network that passed through last launch of our node? If I shut down my R node and restart it, what will happen?
That's a really good question. My hunch is it won't if you kill it and restart.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Any other questions about using this tool?
So will this one help us understand the state of our blocks compared to the others? Like, because this is like a state of a visual state of what we have from the blocks that our node received, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so you will be able to see, yeah, it will reflect the state of the state of the blockchain according to your node.
Oh, cool.
And then, we can take, if we take everybody's file, we can create a bigger picture, a more complex picture. Does that make sense?
Yeah, sure. So
Yeah.
this helps a lot with the forks, right?
Yeah, it's really
Finally.
very exciting.
Beautiful.
Right, yeah, we're really excited
job.
about it. Okay, so let's, so then as next steps, let me just make sure if you have not, anybody who has not submitted their key yet, their public key? Okay, and then just to validate, this is the version of Node that we're running today. You can get it from the binary repo or from Docker if you're using it. All right, so let me stop my share and make sure that I have the list of keys here. And Tomasz, let me share this with you so that you can start building out a bonds file. Oh my word. I got signed out of Google. It's the worst. All right, and we're back. All right, so Tomasz, I'm going to put this in the dev channel. And you can, great, fantastic. All right, so Tomasz is going to build the bonds file. Tomasz, let me know when you have that ready. And I guess ready for you, let me know when you're ready to start Bootstrap with all of the things that we need to build this network. And then we'll allow everybody else to start joining. Does anybody have any questions or concerns related to installing the version of Node that we're running today, or what we're attempting to do today? I see some names here that are not have not yet submitted keys. Ned, Jake, are you guys planning on running nodes?
I would love to. My Ubuntu is really messed up, so I got to work on that.
Yeah, I'm starting a little late. Did I miss too much? I couldn't know.
I don't think so. If you could plop your key in the form, we can still grab it.
What key? My
your public key. Let me give you a link. Hold on just a second. All right, here, Jake, in the chat window is a link to a form. If you'll plop your public key in there. So Tomasz, hold off for just a second. Let's grab Jake's key.
Okay.
Thanks.
And I'm just double checking. This is you want my testnet public key, correct?
You know what? Any key set you would like to use.
Okay.
But I like your public key, and whatever, when you run, just run with the corresponding private key.
Got it.
Very open-minded.
Okay, just one moment. I'll dig that up.
Okay, cool. Thanks. Is anyone planning on running RDoctor as part of this run? It's optional. I know that not everybody uses Docker, and we still have some barriers to entry. But I'm just curious if anyone else is planning to use it.
Yeah, I'm planning definitely.
Excellent, thank you.
Yeah, I'm
Me too.
trying.
Wonderful. Very much looking forward to sharing with you V2 of that tool next week. That will really reduce those barriers to entry and better support everyone using it.
Okay.
All right.
These are in.
Thank you, Jake. All right, Tomasz, that you can use those keys, please.
On it.
And then just let me know when Bootstrap is up, please. I recognize it's early, but in the event that you could open a window and remember to do this before you leave today, I'm going to paste a JIRA ticket into the chat. And this is a ticket where you can attach your diagram at the end of today's testing session. It would be helpful if you could identify, as you save that text file, you could either use the name that you show here in the Zoom room or the name that you used with your key. That would be helpful for us in aligning your diagram to you. Here's the link to that ticket.
Bootstrap is up.
Excellent, thank you so much. Let's grab, all right, so I'm going to paste the address here in the chat. You are welcome to bring your node up, connect to this Bootstrap. Please, please, please don't start proposing. So there's the link, there's the Bootstrap address. All right, so my node has started, it received the approved block, it transitioned. I don't see any peers though yet. Does anybody see peers?
No peers for me.
Bootstrap has 2 peers.
Bootstrap has peers, okay. I have a peer. Oh, it's so validating.
I'm still installing the latest software.
Okay,
so
that's fair. All right, take your time. Actually, Jake, let's, that's actually beneficial. So please check in before you run. I'm curious to bring you onto the network after there are some blocks there for you to catch up to. Make sense?
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll let you know before I join.
Happy situation.
Perfect.
All right, I see 7 peers. Anyone else? And now 9.
4 peers here.
Okay. All right, I'm curious to hear from others. I know Joshy's got some peers. I know Jake is working to get started and is going to wait as a test case. Anyone else not started running yet?
I see 7 peers, but I had this error in the log.
Oh.
Now I have 10 peers.
Pavel, what's a tick wheel executor?
I have 10 peers too,
Okay.
but I don't know, something I'm pasting here.
Mm-hmm.
Like the first block is empty and Casper instance was not available.
Paulo, did you see that your node made a transition about to that you received the approved block and then that you made a transition?
Yeah, I
Okay,
mean,
you
the
did.
line before that is just
Uh-huh.
valid approved block received. And then we wrote the sender is empty and the Casper instance was not available.
Okay, and his block is, oh, I got that too, actually.
11 peers now. I don't know if you can see also my logs from our doctor. You should.
Possibly.
Yes, we can.
Okay.
Hey team, any concern about receiving a block where the sender is empty immediately following the receipt of the valid approved block?
No, that means that the Genesis was sent.
Okay. Fantastic.
Genesis doesn't have a sender.
Oh, I see, because it's a Genesis. Makes sense to me.
Okay.
All right, good. All right, so I see people peering up. I've got 14 now. There's 15 people on the call. Okay, so I guess I'm curious, Dom and Kent, is it appropriate now for people to start proposing?
Yeah, sounds good to me.
Okay, fantastic. So as a reminder, there are only 2 contracts you should be proposing. You may propose dupe, or you may propose simpletestchannel.row. I'm putting a link to the worksheet here in the channel if you have lost track. Those 2 contracts are available in this worksheet. Yeah, I can share my screen here. Hey, Kent, did anything change in the deploy command? My trusty deploy command is not working.
Oh, that looks fine. I don't think there were any.
Oh wait, I know what I did wrong.
Changes.
No, totally my error. I used the wrong word. Oh, Paolo.
Yeah, and Josh, you too.
Oh, Kelly too. All right, everyone pause. So we are all getting invalid blocks, invalid unslashable blocks, and that's generally an indication that we are not recognized as bonded validators, correct?
Yep, that
Okay.
sounds right.
So,
Oh,
Tomasz,
Yeah.
can you confirm that the bonds file contains the keys, the correct keys?
Let me check.
Thanks.
Oh, you're right. Yeah.
Okay. All right, so no, sure, take your time. Everyone, if you are currently running Node, please kill it. Please clear your data directory, as you all are so skilled at doing.
Okay, it should be fine in 1 minute.
Okay.
When joining the network today, do I need the oh boy. So right now my run command is like this. rnode run, then the bootstrap address, then validator private key. Is that the correct format, or do I also need the okay.
Yeah, we don't need we typically are not finding people need to use, you know, if you'll remember back in the day, we had to put the timeout and some memory information, but I don't think we need that anymore.
Okay. And I don't need a bonds file for this one?
Correct.
All righty.
Thanks, Kent.
Well, I'm ready to press return whenever.
Okay, great. All right, Tomasz, is Bootstrap back up?
It's just starting. I will acknowledge when it transitions to approved block.
Thank you.
Sorry if I removed my RNode data directory and I relaunched in standalone mode to get my private public keys. If I just copy and paste the file presenting that public private keys back to the Genesis directory, will it work?
I don't know.
Or I should use new public key?
You should use the same public key that you used, that you put in the form, because that's the key that's in the validating, in the bonds file.
Yeah, but when I removed my RNode directory and relaunched my node, all keys changed.
Oh, it blew it away.
do you remember your private key?
Yeah,
Yeah, just
I
reuse
copied that file.
Yeah, that's fine then. So having your data directory clear of keys is fine. You don't need to generate a new key. Just put use the same run command you used last time.
Okay.
It'll be just fine.
So Bootstrap is running, but I'm not seeing making the transitions to the block state. Yeah.
They're just hanging?
No. It's accepting peers. But since the bonds file is bigger, I guess it's taking longer time to compute.
It's not that big. It's got 9. Huh.
Plus there is 5 validators. So 14.
Okay.
Okay, and we can press return now?
Nope. Do not.
Okay, I will not.
Hard stop, everyone.
Oh, never mind. I'm blind. It's already.
It happens so fast.
Yeah.
All right, so you're confirming that the Bootstrap did make the transition and is ready?
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
fantastic. Everyone, you're welcome to run your node.
And I've pasted the Genesis block in chat.
Thank you.
The same Bootstrap node and hash.
The same Bootstrap
Yes.
node, yep. And then once your node is running and you have confirmed that you have both received the valid approved block, and I can see here's the Genesis block that my node has received, and then that you've made a transition to the block handler state. Once that is complete and you start seeing some peers, that's a sign that you can start validating either using dupe row or simple test channel.row. No other contracts, please.
Okay, so this time I don't see the Casper instance was not available, so that's a good sign, I
Okay,
guess.
that is a good sign. Did anybody else see that? It wasn't not just Paolo. Joshie, did you see that too last time?
What was that, Kelly? I was focusing on something else for a sec.
No worries. Last time, do you remember seeing that your Casper instance was not available?
I don't think I got that exact error message. I got invalid unslashable block.
Okay. All right.
Oh, I didn't look at the node log. It's probably in there.
Yeah, no worries. I was just curious.
I paste some to the chat from my comment line. Is this okay? I'm not sure if there was before.
Did you put was your private key in your run command? So rnode run, and then you specified Bootstrap, and then you specified your private key.
You're talking to me still?
No, not Zipper. All right, so I see blocks. I see, and I'm able to propose. So I think, great, looks like we've got the right bonds file. So development team, we can just do a volley of proposals for a while and see, just assure that we can do that. Is there anything else you'd like us to do for the next few minutes?
That sounds good for now.
Okay.
So we can deploy a contract now?
Mm-hmm. Yes, and the only 2 contract you can deploy dupe or simple test.
I'm going to restart the start validator, so if you don't mind, Bootstrap will keep running.
Okay, that works for me. All right, so
Thomas, don't restart them. If you wanna stop them, but don't introduce new validators into the node, into the network. That's the whole point of the exercise.
Okay, so I will keep them up.
Yeah, just leave them down.
Yeah, either stop them or don't disable them, but don't bring them up.
So I will just keep them running.
Okay, so if you are, if you're not looking at your screen, you'd like to look at mine, I just called for our node VDAG up here. And so I opened up another window, called our node VDAG. I have captured this information. I'm going to copy it. And I have to find my link. I could have pasted this earlier, sorry team. And so I've opened up the GraphViz tool. I can just erase what's there and paste in what I have, and then there we are. Here's the Genesis block. And according to my node, these are blocks, and here's another validator. And so that's an example of how you can use VDAG. And as a reminder, when we're nearing the end of this session, I'd like everyone to do this and collect this information and save it as a text file and add it to our ticket. We would love to see what everybody's node thought the state of the world looked like. Feel free to ask questions about that as we go along here. Very cool.
So we should deploy a sample contract and then propose a block.
Correct. But only deploy either
Yeah.
yeah. Okay, broken record, I know. What you sharing, Paolo?
Could we do a quick sanity check of show blocks? Who has which show block at the moment?
I have block 10, and it looks like this. Everyone, if you could run show blocks as well, curious to get a report, either verbal, you're welcome to come off mute, or put in the chat. What block do you see?
I'm also seeing block 10.
Okay, great.
I'm seeing the same block 10 that is on Kelly's screen.
Oh no, it works.
Oops, wrong one.
I have 10 either.
Would it be feasible for someone to bond?
So a couple options there. I can kill this node that I'm running and bring up a new one and attempt to bond. That's an option. We could, yeah, that's an option, or somebody else on the call could do the same. Do you have a preference?
Whoever is willing.
Okay. All right, I can do that. Do you need any information off this node before I do that?
VDAG, of course.
Of course. All right. Too much.
So VDAG still worked after you killed the node?
No, I have not killed the node.
Oh, okay.
Very important. You need to capture it before you kill.
It's the current DAG that the node sees. So after a restart, the node, for now, clears its memory. So it forgets what it did and tries to rebuild the DAG from the network. So it's not what it did, it's what it can get from the network.
I'm sorry I didn't catch it. So we can close our node.
No. Keep your node. I'm closing my node because we're going to test validator bonding.
Okay.
So
Okay.
please leave your node up if you're able to continue to deploy, or I'm sorry, to propose new blocks. That would be very helpful. Let's see. All right, so I am starting up a node that is not bonded to the network.
It seems that I have a problem.
Say more.
I deployed a contract, dupe contract, and then I run rnode propose, and my seems my rnode hangs.
Okay, it's not. That does happen. Are you past 30 seconds? Are you into minutes?
I don't know, maybe about 30 seconds.
Okay.
I will wait a
Can
bit.
you validate? Can you validate what your node is doing? It might be accepting blocks from the network, and it cannot do both.
I can paste my command line.
Well,
Are you running our doctor?
Yeah,
Yes.
I cannot see you.
Yes. I'm
Okay,
running
so
our
we have
doctor.
the logs.
Oh, actually, I can see you. So.
Kent, you were saying something.
well, so if everyone besides, sorry, who was this?
NetZipper.
Oh yeah, NetZipper could pause deploying and proposing, then it should be able to get through after a while.
Can someone share with me an IP address that I can deploy my bonding information to?
You mean some paste bin?
I'm sorry?
You mean some like paste bin, like where you can upload any text?
No, I need a validator to share their IP address. Thank you, Paolo, so that I can deploy my bond information to it.
Okay.
Kent or Dom, it's my understanding that I can deploy this to Paolo, and he can propose on my behalf. Do I have to wait to catch up with any of the state?
Before you
go ahead.
Yeah. To be able to propose, you'll have to receive a block that contains you inside it.
Okay. But at this point, I'm clearly connected. I've got peers. Is there any reason for me to wait to send my information to Paolo?
Oh,
my
no, because, yeah, he is the one who's going to be
Fantastic.
proposing. So.
All right, so let's do that. Let me just make sure I have the order of operations correct.
By the way, NotZipper, can you please restart, or are you running RDoctor? Because I cannot see any messages from you since like 10 minutes ago.
Yes, I run our doctor.
Okay.
Is the order of operations to
I see
bond?
some kind of timeout. Not heading, cannot receive response to heartbeat from our node. Timeout.
Okay, these timeouts mean that some of the nodes in the network are not available to you.
Yeah.
So this is regular TCP stuff.
Yes.
As long as you see at least some peers, so your peers count is larger than 0. It's a distributed network. We will encounter not delivered packets and not visible nodes. So that's regular business, sadly.
Mhm.
Oh, E4.
I think the forward.
Oh, it's the forward. Yeah, thank you. All right, Paolo.
Yeah, receive it. Let's
Okay.
propose.
And it's proposed. Fantastic.
I try to run our node show blocks and this command hangs either.
Okay, so as far as I understand, Thomas, what Thomas is saying, we don't see your logs. Could you? Oh, sorry for the music in the background. Could you also send your logs to the ticket, the big ticket one?
Okay, you don't see my R doctor.
No, because since you cleared the directory, I'm not sure, but it's possible that the adapter should actually find
Should
the
we
directory.
run our okay, I got it.
Kelly, could you do a show blocks? Is that the current consensus, block 13?
Oh, let me check mine. Yeah, I have 13 and it's the one that I deployed for Kelly's forward.
Okay, and that's block 13. Well, let's go take a peek and see if I'm bonded.
You should be able to just deploy and propose.
Okay. I don't need to check. Make sure my key is there.
Oh wait, I only proposed once. So let me check.
Do it again. I sent the second one.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't see that.
No worries. It was very important, Paolo. How did you miss it?
Yeah, I was listening to something else. This is the second block.
Thank you, sir. Got it. Okay. All right. Here I go. I'll have to just deploy things. Uh-oh. This fail typically indicates that I am not bonded. Should I go spelunking in block 14 to see what happened?
Oh, but that's weird because you have those blocks.
Well, you can verify. Doesn't hurt to check.
Okay. All right. This is my public key that I would expect to see somewhere in this block. They don't. Okay, so it doesn't look like my key is in this block.
Hmm.
And this is the block. This is the block that Paolo proposed after my second my bond deploy.
So would you check like if I propose again with a new block?
Okay.
See. We created this.
Got it. Thank you.
What do the colors in the block tag visualization mean? Some of mine are green, some are black. I think one was red.
They
Different.
indicate.
Oh, sorry. Go.
Oh, please, no, go for it.
As you can see, there are two numbers in each block. The upper number is the block's ID. The lower number is the validator's ID, and the colors relate to these numbers. So if a block was proposed by a given validator, it has a steady color on your DAG, and the colors should match on each DAG on each machine. In other words, visual cue.
Unless you're colorblind. My key is also not in this subsequent block. My key is missing.
I feel guilty.
You know, I think it's pretty fair of all the times that you've tried to bond to my.
Oh yeah, that's for sure.
Perhaps the truth of the matter
But now
is
we're even.
just cursed.
Yeah. Next time, try with Josh.
So dev team, there's clearly something going on here. This isn't what I've just demonstrated is not necessarily a new experience. Paolo's experienced this as well as others. All right, we've got about 15 minutes left. Let's just see.
The current visualization is also nice. There are a lot of cool steps. I don't know. Is there a way to share it easily? Like, download the image or something?
Oh, to share the image?
Yeah.
Actually, Pavel, that's a question I had for you after I played with this yesterday. How did you grab that image and save it as a PDF from this tool?
You need a command line tool. I will send you a link what you need to install. Just give me a second.
Okay.
1 second.
Kelly, you can do it online also.
Oh, I can if I go here.
Here's the link.
But I can grab the source code. Okay, so.
Yeah, you can grab the source code. Like Node will produce a bunch of textual.
The source code is better. The visual representation, the picture isn't as helpful as the text representation because we can do stuff with the text.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I just wanted to share my current image quickly. Of course, for you, it should be now.
Okay, gotcha.
Alrighty. Let's see, we've got 16 blocks. I saw a ticket come in from NetZipper. Thank you for that.
Well, since we proved that the network is able to run with running validators and has problems with bonding, now we can just break it. We can start doing hello world and whatever other contracts we need.
All right, go nuts, everyone.
Wait, so what was the issue with bonding, Kelly?
I went through the exercise of deploying both the forwarder to Paolo. He proposed a block. I deployed the bond file to Paolo. He proposed the block. And in the second block where everything should have been, my key was not visible. And I was unable to propose. I guess I'm not going to.
But I didn't get any errors in deploying proposal.
Wait, so this is block number 16?
I was actually in block number 15.
Oh, so in block number 15, you were bonded?
Well, it should have been, because block 15 is what Paolo proposed.
I think it's 14. I'm looking now at the visualization that I have. I think
Okay.
14, the number 27E7.
Okay, so let's just look again. So here is this is block number 14. Oh shoot. Okay, and then up here, I'm using the find command to find my key. That's what's up in here. And typically when I do this, my key would be highlighted. And I would know, and then I could even follow my key and look at my bond amount, which would be less 1 than what I deployed with, which in this case would be 213. But I don't
so it
see my
seems like the roll code you deployed may be the cause.
Perhaps. Yeah, that's fair.
But could it be related to the fact that you guys were saying that not normal roll code could be deployed this time, or not?
I see your bonding.row or whatever you use to
How can I best show you, Kent?
Oh, you can just cat.
I really don't know. You're gonna have to give me a lot more information than that.
And then the file name.
Okay, I'm an idiot. I know that. All right, so bond. All right. Yikes. Sorry, let's get rid of this. Can you see?
Yep. Let's see. And so, and that got included in that block 14 that you just showed above.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that looks okay. All right.
All right, we have about 5 more minutes. Let's take, I guess let me pause for just a second. Is anybody proposing using other contracts other than dupe and simple right now?
This is still on your bonding, Kelly. It looks like that code, Roland code that's on the screen still uses the old transfer method where they're in a tuple where it says @wallet, transfer. Maybe that needs to be updated. Or that's mostly a comment, I guess.
Right here?
Yeah.
Kent, what do you think?
It could be the case.
Yeah, basic wallet.row has switched to having transfer as the first arg.
Yeah, nice catch. And we don't have integration tests for bonding yet, right?
I think we do. I thought it was unbonding that we don't have yet. We can validate that.
And we're using the same contract?
I don't. That's a good question. To be fair, this is a contract I generated probably 3 weeks ago. So if something has changed in the contract since yeah, it's possible.
I guess one way you would know is, can you type transfer into your search? And it should highlight as something that isn't reduced.
Up here? Ah.
Yeah. There's no occurrences.
Well, there's. Hold on. That looks a lot like my key. EF8A. Okay, so that is my key. Why didn't it find it?
Ah.
So there's the bonding forwarder.
So that doesn't highlight when you copy
it?
it?
Let's try it again. I'll do exactly what I did before. Copy my key, public key.
Kelly, can you paste your key here and I try to grab it also in my output?
Okay. Here is my public key. All right, well, I see it now. I don't know why I didn't see it before. Okay,
but you failed to propose.
Well, let's try again.
Yeah.
Ah, so much yellow. Okay, stop. No.
Kelly, I don't see your key in the output of the block.
Actually, when you... So you restarted your node, right?
But it generated, it's a new node.
Yeah, okay.
Brand new node.
Sounds good.
But I see the word transfer in the output of the block in this form, like this. Let me paste.
Huh.
But I don't see Kelly's key.
You don't see my key in that same block, in that block 14.
Is that the public key or the private key?
That's my public key.
Oh, okay, okay.
All right, we have about 60 seconds left. So I'd like everyone to just take a moment. Please run rnode VDAG in another window. And then collect your information. Please save it as a text file. And please add it to this ticket. I will paste a link here in the window. If you could please, as you're saving it as a text file, some identifying information would be super helpful. Your name is a good one. If you don't feel comfortable with your name, something else that I could identify you with would be helpful.
Public key.
Public key, there you go, because we have those. We got a ticket from NetZipper. I will file a ticket related to bonding. Anything else we need to capture, team?
Actually, I noticed that that log file isn't what I saw in RNode output, which is much less than was in RNode output.
Yeah, because
only debug messages.
Because the current RDoctor scans the log file and not the output. The RDoctor v2 will actually read the output.
Okay.
Okay, we need to wrap here. I have to go hear the elementary school have a Christmas sing to quickly debrief with the team. So we're going to wrap here. We will not be doing a testing session next Tuesday. That is December 25th, Christmas Day, for those of you who celebrate. Wishing you all and you and yours a very Merry Christmas. And we will reconvene. Actually, we have a problem because we won't do New Year's Day either. That is January 1st, this following Tuesday. So look forward to testing again starting January 8th. I hope everyone has a safe and very happy holiday, and we'll meet again next year. Thank you so much, everyone.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Bye, holiday.
Bye-bye, Kelly.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Is the general public allowed to attach files to comments in Atlassian?
I hope so. Are you finding that you're not?
I just don't see it right now.